Despite being created and developed by the cartoonist behind the phenomenally successful TV series The Simpsons, Matt Groening's second series, Futurama, has had a tumultuous time during its run on television. The series has always received critical acclaim. Still, the show was cancelled multiple times and always had the threat of cancellation hanging over its head, so much so that they had numerous potential series finales. The show originally ran from March 1999 to August 2003 on the Fox network, then from March 2008 to September 2013 on Comedy Central. In between Futurama moving from Fox to Comedy Central, 4 direct-to-DVD feature films were made. Bender's Big Score in 2007, Beast with a Billion Backs, and Bender's Game in 2008, and Into the Wild Green Yonder in 2009. The success of the DVDs played a big role in the revival of the series.
I'm 40% back, baby!
In February 2022, Hulu announced that they would be reviving the TV series. While it's great to get a new season of the show, it's also well and truly time that Futurama was brought back to life in another medium. Just like how film helped bring a new perspective to the Futurama universe and allowed the show to try something different, maybe it's about time that Futurama had another video game.
This way, damn it!
The universe of Futurama is so large and intricate that it could easily make the transition from TV to a video game. It has previously tried to do so with mixed results. First, there was the third-person action-adventure game Futurama in 2003 for the PlayStation 2 and Xbox. Then there's the mobile city building game Futurama Worlds of Tomorrow, released in 2017. Though neither game was a huge success, a new one could have very different results if done correctly. Given how elaborate the universe of Futurama is, any game developer already has plenty of intellectual property to build upon. And with the right creative team who truly appreciated the opportunity they had to work with such well-developed intellectual property, they could realize every last bit of Futurama's potential, as the series is filled with the same thing the video games find success with, combining action, adventure, and comedy with entertaining characters and engaging storylines.
I've got a mission for you, Fry. Find a hammer.
Most gamers love exploring elaborate alien worlds and discovering the various mysteries within them. Something a Futurama game could and certainly would do given the size of the Futurama universe and the creativity Groening and the show's writing staff have demonstrated in the past. Throughout the 2003 Futurama game, there were various nibbler figures hidden in each level, which, when collected, unlock extras such as movie clips and galleries. The minimalism of this Easter egg is a reflection of the games of the era rather than a lack of creativity. Conversely, given the capability of video games nowadays, the possibilities of a new game would be almost endless. One of the things that makes the 2018 game Red Dead Redemption 2 so great is the attention to detail in regards to Easter eggs and character development that is separate from the main story. There are so many hidden secrets in the game that people are only now discovering years after the game's release. Futurama has always had a similar level of attention to detail, with numerous Easter eggs, meta humor, and esoteric jokes and references that could be packed into a massive open-world game. Of course, an interesting setting and fan service Easter eggs isn't enough on its own to captivate most players for an entire game. There also needs to be an engaging story, something which Futurama proved it can excel at throughout the run of the TV series, but also did in the comic book series and the 2003 video game.
Your old friend Leela is back with a brand new story.
Hi, it's great to be back.
In the last decade, video games have excelled in a number of ways, especially in regards to storytelling. If you put together the cutscenes for the 2016 game Mafia 3 or Uncharted 4 at Thief's End, or, honestly, most games made in the last 15 years, they equate to around the same amount of time of a single season of a TV series. Additionally, the quality of the writing is equal to that of a television series, if not significantly better.
I saw your face, I'll remember you.
You forget 1,000 things every day. How about you make sure this is one of them?
The original Futurama game received mixed reviews, but not because of the story. Rather, the clunky gameplay along with the cheap, underwhelming aesthetics distracted from the legitimately impressive and inventive story that was so good it was originally intended to serve as a Futurama series finale. As we've seen with the feature films, along with some standout television episodes, Futurama has never been afraid to go big and weird when it comes to story, something they should and probably would do in a new video game. With the setting of the 31st century, Futurama can stretch the boundaries of what is and isn't possible, allowing for strange, elaborate storylines. Additionally, the universe of Futurama has always consisted of elaborate backdrops, which would offer players huge, detailed environments to explore in both a story mode and free roam. In regards to stories and subplots, the possibilities are endless. Presumably, they would try something completely new. However, the Planned Express crew could revisit one of the many strange adventures that they've had. For example, players could have to fight against a colony of parasitic worms like in the episode Parasites Lost, in which Fry becomes infested with worms after eating a bad egg salad sandwich. Alternatively, players might have to harvest some of the honey from the space bees like in The Sting, in which the Planned Express crew are sent on the same mission that caused the deaths of the previous crew. With this in mind, given that Futurama has well and truly proven that they can make a video game that tells a story that's just as good as an episode of the show, why not tell an entire season's worth of individual stories with an overarching mythology or a main story within a video game? Numerous action-adventure games have combined humor and sci-fi with great success. So, even though the TV series has been revived,
What do we say when someone gives you something?
if the right people went to work on a new video game, it could prove to be the type of Futurama revival that fans are looking for.
Hooray!
The best action-adventure games thrive because of their engaging story, memorable characters, and engaging combat armed with elaborate weapons and gadgets. And there would be no shortage of interesting gadgets for players to use throughout the action sequences of a new Futurama game, given that the show already had its fair share of amazing inventions thanks to Professor Farnsworth, who was responsible for numerous strange, elaborate, and often dangerous contraptions, whether they're actually useful or not. Some of the best introduced in the television series include the micro-droid machine, which was first seen in the episode Parasites Lost, when the Planned Express crew used the device to create miniature droid versions of each of them, before inserting themselves into Fry's body to fight the worms. There's also the F-Ray, which allows users to see through anything, including metal, making it more powerful than an X-Ray. The device was first introduced in the episode Fry and the Slurm Factory when Fry and Bender use it to try and cheat at a competition, highlighting the device's potential to be used for a variety of purposes throughout a video game.
Ow! My sperm!
Wow, neat!
Then there's the What If machine, first seen in Anthology of Interest 1, which, when asked a what if question, the machine displays the scenario on its screen. In the show, the device serves to bring a Treehouse of Horror-style anthology series to Futurama. In a video game, this could allow players to play out elaborate what-if scenarios, like what if the Planned Express crew took on either the Globetrotters or the Atomic Supermen from Time Keeps on Slipping, making for an NBA Jam-like minigame. Given the creativity of Futurama's developers Groening and David X. Cohen, along with the talents of the show's writing staff, the possibilities with the combination of elaborate devices and corresponding adventures are limitless.
I moved the stars themselves to write her a love note in the sky.
Detonation in 3, 2.
Over the run of Futurama, fans were introduced to some great villains, which is why it's strange that one aspect of the 2003 game that was disappointing is the fact that, of the few level bosses that there were, they were pretty underwhelming. There are only 3 which players face off against while playing as Bender, Leela, and Fry respectively. Bender takes on Mom's eldest son, Walt, who, along with his brothers Larry and Igner, first appear in the episode A Fistful of Dollars, in which Fry discovers his bank account interest has made him a billionaire and he buys a rare can of anchovies. In the game, Walt takes refuge in a tank and attempts to destroy Bender after his brothers failed in their own attempts. Later, Leela takes on the mighty Sun God, the ruler of the sun, in his only appearance in the Futurama universe as of September 2023. Finally, Fry takes on Destructor, a machine from the Ultimate Robot Fighting League who first appeared in the episode Raging Bender, in which Bender becomes a championship robot wrestler. The level bosses in the 2003 game are decent enough, as they reflect the kind of level bosses and gameplay that you'd expect from that era. But a new game could do much better in regards to both the characters the players take on and the challenges they'd face in order to defeat them. In regards to characters who'd made for great level bosses, there's Robot Santa, the Xmas icon built in 2801 to judge whether people were naughty or nice and sort out their presents accordingly, who first appeared in the episode Xmas Story, in which Fry discovers just how much Christmas has changed over the last 1,000 years. The character would be perfect for a level boss given his penchant for killing, his creative methods for punishing people, and his relentlessness as he can withstand explosions, burning spaceship exhaust, and even logical paradoxes.
My head was built with paradox-absorbing crumple zones.
It would also be great if you could get the original voice actor behind Robot Santa, John Goodman, to return for the momentous occasion.
I'm going to shove coal so far up your stocking you'll be coughing up diamonds.
There's also Carol Miller, better known simply as Mom, the chief executive officer and majority shareholder of Mom Corp, one of the largest industrial conglomerates in the Futurama universe, responsible for the production of most of Earth's robots. Like her son, she first appeared in the episode A Fistful of Dollars. In the installment, she initially appears as a sweet old lady, though she's soon revealed to be an evil businessperson almost entirely focused on money and power.
Are you dumb bastards listening to me, you dumb bastards?
Presumably, like in the 2003 game, she'd be the main villain in any story the developers would come up with, given that she's the main antagonist throughout the television series. Whether a new game would stick with her as the main villain or create a new character, the inclusion of Mom as a level boss would at least give fans a chance to take on a terrifyingly realistic supervillain.
Gee, Ma, you're not a bitter—
Cram it, ape!
There's also Beelzebot, better known as the Robot Devil, who first appeared in the episode Hell is Other Robots, in which Bender becomes religious, only to discover that there's an actual real-world hell for robots who violate the rules of his new faith, Robotology. The Robot Devil has appeared in a number of episodes and has had dealings with multiple members of the Planet Express crew. Given the Robot Devil's job as the ruler of Robot Hell and his extensive volatile history with Bender and the Planet Express crew, he'd be perfect as a level boss, if not the main antagonist in a new video game, especially if the boss battle took place in Robot Hell. There's also the Slurm Queen, who first appeared in Fry and the Slurm Factory, in which it's revealed that she personally produces the popular soda. Given that the Slurm Queen is willing to kill anyone who discovers her secret, and do so with elaborate traps, she'd make for a perfect level boss. Additionally, her inclusion in the game would answer the question of what eventually happened to her after she was trapped in the tunnel. Over the course of Futurama's television and comic book run, fans were introduced to numerous strange, amazing characters, so much so that it's easy to forget about many of them, regardless of how engaging their personalities and backstories were, only to, one day, be reminded of them and wonder whatever happened to them. This is something that a video game can answer by reintroducing little-known or underappreciated characters and exploring them more so than you could in an episode of the television series. In terms of characters, there's Alcazar, who first appeared in a Biceps built for 2, in which he fools Leela into believing that he's another one-eyed humanoid, which she believed she was at the time, only for him to later confess that he's in fact a shape-shifting grasshopper-like alien. To date, this is his only appearance in the TV series, so little is known about the character both as a person and his true backstory other than his sole motivation for his deception.
We all have needs. Mine was to make it with 5 weirdos and have them scrub my 5 castles.
Given that he possesses the ability to shapeshift and has no conscience, Alcazar could potentially make for another great level boss, especially as a conclusion for a Leela-driven subplot. There's also Umbrielle, who was first introduced in the episode The Deep South. She's one of the mermaids living in the lost city of Atlanta, who briefly has a relationship with Fry. Then there's Steve Castle, better known as that 80s guy, who first appeared in the episode Future Stock. In the installment, Fry and him become friends after he's cryogenically unfrozen, and the two bond over being from the 20th century. Although he's declared dead in the installment, having died from bonitis, it's Fry who made that declaration, a determination he made simply by looking at him. Furthermore, Castle can be seen in the film Beast with a Billion Backs, working at Space Farm Insurance, which may simply have been a goof, though it's possible that they actually found a cure for bonitis. Assuming that time travel is included in the game, and why wouldn't it be if you have all the freedom of an open-world science fiction adventure game, then fans could be reintroduced to Fry's grandfather Enos Fry, who, so far, has only appeared in a single episode, Roswell That Ends Well, in which Fry accidentally sends himself and the Planet Express crew back in time to Roswell, New Mexico in 1947. In the episode, Fry and Enos play off each other with perfect comedic chemistry, something fans would greatly appreciate to see more of. The game could also include characters who are referenced in the TV series, though never seen, such as Zombie Jesus, who was introduced in the episode When Aliens Attack, in which Lure of Omicron Persei 8 loses a television single from 1999. Professor Farnsworth mentions that the second coming of Jesus occurred in 2443. Farnsworth again mentions Zombie Jesus in the Deep South.
Sweet Zombie Jesus!
Later in the episode Calculon 2.0, when Calculon is brought back to life after dying in an earlier episode, he mentions that Jesus performed a Live at Hawaii special.
And I'm his friend Jesus.
One thing that makes adventure games great is the different worlds and environments players can explore, especially in open world games. And if you're going to make a new Futurama game, you wouldn't bother unless it was going to be a sandbox game, given the size and intricacy of the Futurama universe, now that it's possible to make a massive open-world game that could do justice to the elaborate world of Futurama, as Rockstar have demonstrated with the universes of GTA and Red Dead Redemption. In regards to Earth, there is of course the elaborate concrete jungle of New York with its mix of numerous districts full of various cultures and characters ripe with the potential for misadventures for the Planet Express crew. There's also the ruins of Old New York, first seen in the pilot episode of the series, Space Pilot 3000, which is later revealed to be filled with mutants in the episode I Second That Emotion when Bender flushes Leela's pet Nibbler down the toilet. Additionally, over the course of Futurama's run on television and within the corresponding comic book series, the Planet Express crew have encountered numerous worlds and environments that players could not only revisit but explore at length. There's Robot Santa's Death Fortress at the North Pole of the planet Neptune, from which Robot Santa monitors the people of Earth, which was first seen in the episode A Tale of Two Santas when Bender takes the place of the Xmas villain. There's Chapek 9, a planet inhabited by human-hating robots who kill humans on sight, first seen in the episode Fear of a Bot Planet when Fry and Leela disguise themselves as robots to find Bender after he fails to return from a delivery to the planet. There's also Amazonia, the home planet of the Amazonians, the race of gigantic cavewomen-like humanoids first seen in the episode Amazon Women in the Mood when Fry, along with Democratic Order of Planet representatives Zap Brannigan and Kif Kroker, are captured and enslaved.
I had snoo.
There's also all the planets mentioned, though never seen in the Futurama universe, that the game could bring to life, such as a world that can't be mentioned in polite company, a planet with a name so filthy that it causes disgust just by its mere mention.
You mean...
How dare you!
The world was first referenced in the episode Inagata Dalila when Zap and Leela are stranded alone on an unknown planet. Ultimately, in the TV series, we've only had glimpses of the various other worlds within the Futurama universe, but with an open-world video game, fans could explore these strange environments packed full of Easter eggs and in-jokes at length.
Let's go find out what makes the Forbidden Valley so forbidden.
Although the 2003 game was hindered by clunky gameplay and unpolished animation, it still had the humor and character development of the television series. All of the main characters of Futurama and many of the secondary ones already have years of development behind them, which would allow game developers to insert numerous references and jokes for longtime fans to enjoy. A new game could also right a wrong from the first one in regards to the characters Hermes and Amy. Development on the 2003 game started before the series' first cancellation. However, the game wasn't released until after the last installment of Season 4, Futurama's first finale episode, The Devil's Hands Are Idle Playthings, had already aired. Unlike many games based on existing intellectual property, numerous people involved in the Futurama television series worked on the game. Groening serves as an executive game developer, while Cohen directed the voice actors. Author of the Futurama theme music, Christopher Ting, provided the original music for the game, while Futurama producer and screenwriter J. Stewart Burns wrote the script. Burns had previously written a number of Futurama episodes, including the critically acclaimed Roswell That Ends Well, which is widely considered to be one of the best of the entire series. Additionally, most of the voice cast contributed to the video game, except, due to budgetary constraints, cast members Phil Lamar and Lauren Tum, who voiced Hermes and Amy in the TV series respectively, weren't included. With this in mind, a new game could retroactively address the two's glaring omission from the 2003 game, in addition to opening up the possibilities for more interesting stories, or at least subplots for the game to explore, given both Hermes and Amy's well-established backstories.
I used to be too cute, so I had cuteness reduction surgery here and here.
The universe of Futurama is full of various worlds, characters, and mythology, all of which could arguably be best explored in a video game. Even after ending in 2013, Futurama continued to entertain hardcore fans due to most of the episodes being so rewatchable while gaining new viewers because of the show's timeless characters and unique memorable stories. With its iconic characters and intricate mythology set in a strange universe full of limitless potential, there's no better time in the history of Futurama for a video game with which to realize the property's potential like never before.
Alright, it's Saturday night. I have no date. A 2-liter bottle of Shasta? Let's rock.